Ladies and gentlemen, Papa H is cooking with fire. Guys, I want to talk about today how WWE is already changing the landscape in 2025. So without further ado, guys, my name is Billy TKO. If you guys are new here, definitely be sure to like this video. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. There's a Twitter, TikTok, Discord, everything all down below. Link for you guys to come hang out, come join. But guys, I want to talk about Papa H. That man is cooking. Yes, we are going to talk about Friday Night SmackDown that took place last night. So without further ado, let's just go hop directly into the video. Yo, what is going on, guys? Again, my name is Billy TKO. Let's talk about it. Papa H, that man is already cooking with gas. Last night, SmackDown, it was aired on the USA Network, and we went to 3 hours. Yes, we had a 3-hour-long SmackDown. The show, top to bottom, was just very, very good storytelling. So automatically, you come out, you see Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' face he's obviously the face leading everybody into the charge. Cody Rhodes is the guy right now. Cody Rhodes comes out. He is interrupted by no other than Drew McIntyre. Now, we know that Drew McIntyre is a Raw superstar. That doesn't matter. There's a transfer window. Drew McIntyre comes out. He gives Cody a hug, and he's telling Cody how great he is and how he held it down. Cody responds, says, yeah, I want to say all these good things about you, you know, what you did for the company in the darkest times, etc., but I don't trust you. And Drew just kind of, shook or whatever, kind of jumps out of the ring, and he says, oh, one last thing, watch your back. Cody is then rushed by Kevin Owens, who attacks Cody. And Kevin Owens looks at Drew McIntyre, and I actually made a TikTok on it. So, again, if you guys want to get my initial first reactions to these things, go follow me on TikTok. I made a TikTok saying that Drew and Kevin are going to eventually team up in some form. And, yeah, no, we have the crash outs. The Roman crash outs is what I call them. These guys ultimately are binded by Roman Reigns and all of the things that he's done. So, yeah, those are the Roman crash outs, including one other one, which is Seth Rollins, but obviously Seth Rollins has some other things to take care of first. He will be a part of this crash out group. I can almost guarantee it. But following that, we had the DIY, we had the Motor City Machine Guns, the Pretty Deadly stuff. That's all good. It looks like we're trying to make the tag team division a little bit more important. Later in the night, what else did we see? We seen Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, things of that nature. We seen Carmelo Hayes and Sami Zayn, which I think is just ultimately a good way to get Carmelo Hayes just kind of bumped in the scene a little bit. And Carmelo told Sami, he was like, if we run it back, I'm going to give you that work. The Usos pop up behind him. And then, Sami iterates. He said, yeah, he was just saying if we run it back, he is going to give me that work. And the Usos are kind of like, huh? You know what? Very funny. Very, very funny. But Jay gets bumped by Kevin Owens. After that whole Sami kind of goes off on his way, Kevin bumps Jay, and he says, watch your back. And that right there was just iterating like, oh yeah, the Roman crash outs, they're on the way. They're coming. It's happening. Okay. So we'll talk about the main event here shortly. One other thing that I want to talk about, and probably the most important thing that happened on the night, was Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton last night cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase, which ultimately led to one of the biggest pops I've heard in quite some time. Tiffany Stratton needs this briefcase, or she needed that championship, and she needed to do it the way that she did it. Because a lot of people, when they do things like this, you just kind of automatically assume you're like, oh, they're just going to be a good guy now because they got to beat the bad guy or whatever because the bad guy is Nia Jax. She's running over Tiffany, etc., etc. That's not what happened. They actually did a really good job protecting Tiffany's character. Tiffany is a brat. That's just what she is. Tiffany came out and she, ran down with a ref after the match between Naomi and Nia Jax, and while it was still happening, she runs out. And she looks like she's about to cash in. Automatically, she looks like, oh, she's just going to take Nia out. She had been missing from the night. But she ended up hitting Naomi with the briefcase to ultimately help Nia Jax win the match. So Nia retained the championship, and Tiffany gets into the ring, celebrates with Nia, but Nia goes to attack Bianca Belair as she's catering to Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton just hit Nia. She just hit Nia, and then Bianca Belair ends up hitting Nia with the KOD. Tiffany drags Bianca out of the ring to ultimately, and then she goes hits Candice LeRae, and then ultimately cashes in the Money in the Bank. 1, 2, 3, prettiest moonsault. And we have Tiffany Stratton as the new WWE Women's Champion. And I love it. I think you protected Tiffany's character here because she attacked the good guys and she attacked the bad guys, showing I don't really care about any of you. I just want this. This is what I'm here for. This is what I need. I mean, you couldn't write a better story there. It's honestly beautiful. It's perfect, and it works. So they did a great job at protecting Tiffany and the things that that make her. So, yeah, no, I thought that was one of the most important pieces of the night, especially after that horrendous Money in the Bank run that she had. I mean, that briefcase, it was just getting horrible. It was, again, just doing what the Money in the Bank does, and it's just, you hold it for too long, and it's like, all right, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Finally, it happened. They did a really good job at telling it. But one thing that I will advocate for is to put the Money in the Bank back on WrestleMania. If we could do that, that would be great. I get it. It's 2 nights. Have the men's one night, have the women's the next. I think ultimately you have something great if you put it on WrestleMania, but that's neither here nor there. I want to talk about the main event. It was Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga taking on Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Jimmy Uso. Excuse me. Couldn't talk there for a second. Before I get to that, I do have to talk about the Paul Heyman thing because I do realize just in the midst of talking about this that I forgot about that. Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. Paul Heyman is technically going to hold the Ulafala during the Tribal Combat on Monday. My thoughts are that Paul Heyman is actually going to turn on Roman Reigns. I do think that this is now the time to do it. Again, I've made a couple videos talking about this, which I'll link them somewhere over here for you guys to check out. That way you guys can know, my actual thoughts. I do believe that he is going to turn and join Solo in some regard, but I also understand the CM Punk storyline and whatnot, and you have to do that, which I think can play into Solo as well. But the main event, it was a good main event. Really good wrestling, really good stuff. I love the idea of Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, them all teaming up. I mean, it's always just nostalgic is what it feels like. Solo, Jacob, Tama looked like a beast. I think he was actually punching Sami at one point, which is kind of insane when you think about it. But I seen a video on Twitter, and it was like him like just teeing off on Sami. I was like, is he actually hitting that man? Don't know. Not 100% sure. But yeah, no, guys. Solo ultimately comes up with the win. Good. He needed the win. He pinned Jay. Good stuff. Let that story be told. Whatever. Monday is the big day. We are really going to see Papa H cook the way we want him to cook because Monday is the day where everything takes place. 8 o'clock on Netflix if you are in, any country right now. So, guys, that is all I have for you today. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Triple H is going to do a good job in 2025? Do you think he's not? You guys let me know down in the comments section below. I'm ultimately very, very excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this man is going to do, and I'm ready for Raw. I'm ready for the surprises. I'm ready for the way the show feels. And, yeah, no, I'll be talking to you guys later. Again, you're new here. Like, subscribe, do all those things. Guys, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so I appreciate anybody who smashes that subscribe button. I really, really genuinely do. So I'll be talking to you later. Peace.